If you ever watched any of my episodes, you know that I start every show off with this message, a message of help that I hope will somehow, some way reach somebody. And over the last few days, we had another one. And I'm talking about Twitch. If you don't know who Twitch is, he's a dancer, a DJ, a son, a husband, a friend, a father, a grandson. And it happened again. And nobody saw the signs and nobody knew anything about it. And it was triggering for me. It was triggering because many people talk about the smile, right? And so with that being triggering, I decided to take some time to self-care. And I self-cared. And then on Saturday, it seems like the world just needs to remind me of something. On Saturday, my grandfather passes away. And so now I'm in a place where I need more self-care. And so I wanted to come on yesterday and I wanted to talk about the victory. And I just needed another day to self-care. But now I'm all right now. I'm all right because I understand that now why I needed those lessons. It was a reminder that the fight to save a life, even if it's just one, is that important. It was a reminder that a message needs to still be delivered. You know 911. Now learn 988 and get help. Don't sit there and smile your way through it. Don't sit there and think you can do it all by yourself. Simply just just take a moment to put yourself in a position to live. I wish that I can just go and hold every single person before they make the decision. I wish that I can tell them something that changes them in some form or fashion. But I don't. What I can do is I can offer you help. I can offer you assistance with 3 numbers, 988. So before you make a decision that we have to live with, make one that you can live with. Because whether you know it or not, someone cares. I care. And I can assure you that while you may not know it, you will be missed. R.I.P. Grandpa. Pride Nation. Couldn't do Victory Monday, as you heard, but I'm still in good spirits. I take solace in knowing that my grandfather was one of the strongest people I ever met, and that he would have wanted me to continue that strength. And so, to my grandfather, I will miss you, and I love you. And again, I want to make this about sports, but just so y'all know, if I'm MIA off and on, it's probably some things going on that I'm dealing with, and rest assured I will deal with it. So let's talk some football, people. Let's see who we got in the building with us. We got Looney Tune, 9 Drinks, Lions Rumble 81, One Funky Lions fan, Dirty Glove Williams, who said he'll be right back. We got Dan Spanos, Midwest Lions, Roar the Lions UK, who said sorry for your loss. Appreciate all the love, well wishes, and prayers, people. Thank you. It has been a hellish last couple of years for me. Brother in October, grandfather just on Saturday. So it's been a strong day. We got my man Gino, Benny, DC5 in the building, Cap Ice Cold, Detroit Rage Sports in the building, Sheldon McCray, B for Rails in the building, DJ, who says it's time to give GM Home some credit. Okay, you gonna want to stick around for this one, DJ. Hi all from Scottsdale, Arizona, from Southwest Lion. My man Troy is in the building. Black excuse me, Black Spirit is in the building. Let me see, make sure I didn't miss nobody. All right, people, I'm going to do this in a simple way. I'm going to do the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I have to do it that way because I think that it is vital for me to do it that way. I think that it makes sense, and I think that it's the only way it got to be done. So let's start off with the good. The Lions have now went from 1-6 to 7-7. Good. The Lions get the win on the road. Good. The Lions are still in playoff contention. Good. The Lions rookies and other players are contributing. All good. Ada Hutchinson performed. Good. James Houston performed. Good. The defense performed. Good. There's a lot of things that you can take out of this game that's good. Okay? A lot. From their ability to have very creative play calling, including the one that got us the touchdown in the end, all good. Now, I'm starting there because I'm going to get right into this. There's a lot to talk about good. I was excited for a lot of things, but let's get into the bad. This is probably one of the most disappointing wins I've ever seen. I was very disappointed. This was one of them wins that I know we're excited about for all the reasons I listed. That was good, right? I'm with it. I understand it. These are all the reasons. I get it. But here's my problem. If you were just happy that they got the win, you didn't care about all the other things, you were just happy they got the win. I want you to hear from your Detroit Lions head coach and why I believe that your Detroit Lions head coach has the same view that I have. I want you to take a moment to hear from him.
We will never take away from a win, ever. We will never, because that's a win. It's hard to win in this league. We all know. Nobody knows better than we do. All right? It's hard to win. The reality is we didn't play just a great game. It wasn't the cleanest game we played, man. There was some stuff in there. However, there again, when we needed it, each unit, man, you talk about complimenting each other. You know, we get out there, we don't quite get in offense, but we leave them at the 2. Defense.
Now, I want you to understand something. Dan Campbell is a damn good leader. Dan Campbell is such a good leader that he had to let them know at a point of happiness that, yeah, I understand that it's hard to win in this league. I understand that it's difficult to win in this league. But that was not our best game. And we'll be happy now, but tomorrow I'm going to chew y'all asses out because we got to clean up the mistakes. Y'all do not understand why I was frustrated in this game. I counted 5 total times that we should have had an interception. 5. Did not come up with it. Fine. That's fine. Then I started thinking about it. I had people hitting me up. They like, Luke, you know, that was a good defense. Okay. They was okay. It's even better when you don't even have the best player on their defense in Quentin Williams. Didn't even play. And you somehow could not blow this team out. You, with the one of the top 3 scoring offenses, you could only muster 7 points. Thank God for the the punt return. Thank God for the punt return. And I know people are going to say stuff like, there's no such thing as an easy schedule. Bull. You had a quarterback who they lost faith in, who was trying to come back and get himself, and he's out there slinging it. Big play after big play. Don't nobody please say anything to me about no damn safeties. Don't nobody tell me nothing about no safeties. I don't want to hear about the safety talk. You want to know why we needed DBs and the safety? That's the reason why. Zach Wilson probably had his best game statistically against us. And thank God our defense managed to get turnovers and don't break. But if you think that that's just the worst part of the bad, how about this? You don't even attempt to go after Sauce Gardner. I don't think I saw one time in that game us target Sauce Gardner. You know why? Because that's your defensive rookie of the year. And the Lions just helped him get it. And I'm not mad. I'm excited that we won. I'm excited that we are still in playoff contention. I'm happy that we are still fighting and that we are still in this thing. I'm happy that we got the win. But a win is not just a win when you look up and you like, hey, if it was not for that team, would we win? I can't accept that. I don't think that that's an acceptable thing to have. I expected more, especially given how the game played out. That defense was not good enough and did not do enough to hold us to 7 points. They were not. And granted, there were some touchdowns that went down that got called back and everything. Like, I get that those got called back. Like, that stuff gonna happen. You cannot get around that. But I was disgusted at that win. Not because we won, but because even the head coach knew it was that damn close. And there was no way it should have been that damn close. And the scary part, I had a few people go, Luke, they was calling penalties. They were happening. Those were legitimate penalties, which is the ugly part of it. The Lions were making a lot of stupid bonehead plays in that game, and it was giving the hope and the dreams to the Jets up. But I find it disgusting when you don't even attempt to target a rookie fucking cornerback. You telling me DJ Chark couldn't do nothing with him? Jameson Williams can't run past him, and before the people start going down the path of talking about Jared Goff can't get the ball to him, you knew this. This is nothing new to you. I said on Friday on Lions on the Prowl that if the Lions are going to win, if they got to run the ball and use the tight ends, because they're going to pay close attention to the receivers. And the sad part about it is I watched this game thinking we can't have that. It reminds me of the scene from Remember the Titans where they won a very close game and they had to call a team meeting because they said, we're not going to keep winning if we plan like that. I don't want to just back my way in. The Jets are not a good enough team. They got 17 points because that's what their offense is. They don't have the offense to have leads and hold us out. That defense, Quentin Williams has 11 sacks and multiple quarterback hits and did not play. You refuse to attack a cornerback who's a rookie. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of things going on in that game that I was excited about, but I could not stand watching Lions fans just go nuts just because we got the win, and I could not stand watching them go nuts acting as if though we dogged them out. We didn't dog out anything. Super Saiyan Lion says, you're being picky, Luke. Nobody thought the game would be a blowout. I don't care if they didn't think the game would be a blowout. Watch how the game played out. It should have been a blowout. He threw 5 balls that should have been picked. 5. And in case you weren't paying attention, they all were like 3rd and 19, 4th and 28. Bombs. Deep bombs. How many big plays we gave up that game? I am not saying that we won, not one bit. Not saying. I'm actually excited that they rose above the penalties. I'm actually excited that they got the win. But I'm saying, let's be honest. We both did more. And then I watch people talk this stuff crazy. I don't care what that Jets defense did. They didn't have Quentin Williams. Miss me with the bullshit. They didn't have Quentin Williams. They had no interior pressure whatsoever. And you ain't gonna tell me Quentin Williams wouldn't change that. That's cap. All I'm saying is this. We can be excited, but we also got to go into it like we got to be better. And you know why? Because people like Aaron Rodgers is talking at the side of his ass now. He taking shots now. As if though the Packers really did something beating a really, really bad Rams team that's got half their best players out, if not all. He's taking shots because his confidence is up because you barely beat the Jets. That defense was not that good. They're not the 2000 goddamn Ravens. They're not the 04 Buccaneers. I just want people to take a second to be real about the game. I'm not asking you to reinvent the wheel. I'm not asking you to change anything. I'm saying, let's just be honest. I'm annoyed because I keep watching us give up these big plays on big downs. And half those throws he threw, he just threw it. He just threw it. My only thing is this, people, is remember the feeling of us getting this win. Remember it. Do not switch up if they lose a game. And they should not lose a game. They should win out. And I don't care if Aaron Rodgers played the last game of the season. we should win out. Now that brings me to my next point of ugly. I can't believe I got to go here. I can't believe I got to go here on the ugly. Everybody and their mother was ready to burn Dan Campbell the hell down. Why are we not talking about Ben Johnson's weak-ass conservative play calling for that game? As if though, what did Ben Johnson see that told him don't go at the Sauce Gardner? Really? You don't have a receiver on this team? If that's the case, you should have drafted him. I'm going to tell you something. The most powerful thing you can do is make a team completely avoid you. We didn't even go that man's way. They wanted no smoke with him. Whoever he was covering that receiver was done for the game. And Ben Johnson don't get no blame for that weak-ass play calling. As Miko pointed out, passive passing game made this game closer than it needed to be. It shouldn't even been that close. Half of you was sitting there panic about it. Again, I am excited and I'm happy we won. I want to win every game. I don't believe in tanking. I'm rooting like hell for the Rams to keep sucking. But I'm rooting like hell for my team to keep winning. I want to go to the Super Bowl. I want to win the Super Bowl. But that game rubbed me so wrong because we played down to a team we didn't have to play down to. We were better than them. And they presented every opportunity. And instead of seizing the moment on that opportunity, what we did was we allowed for a guy who is literally praying to get his spot back. We made him look like he was about that life. And I just don't want to have that go out unnoticed. Now, let me get back to the best parts of the game. You in the chat, tell me, who's your MVP of the game? I have an MVP, and it's because I don't think people are going to understand. But who was your MVP of this game? I want to know who was your MVP. I saw something that horrified me in a good way. I mean, like, lifted my spirits the fuck up. Horrified me. Who was your player of the game? I want to know. I'm going to put that in there before I even drop the link into the chat. I want to know who's the player. Who's the guy that you look at and you was like, hey, he was the MVP of that game. I saw something. I saw something that I was like, I'm going to have to eat my words on this one. I'm going to have to eat my words. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I'm going to have to eat my words on this one. I love some humble pie. It's delicious. I want to know who is your MVP. Let me see. Let's see what the people talking about. Let me get up in here, see what they're talking about. J-Mo on the field helped every other skilled player. His presence on the field opened up more opportunities for them, even if they don't get the ball. Okay. Any given Sunday, we played bad, but we still found a way to muster up a win. That's what's important. Yeah, I know, right? Because to me, that kind of thinking aligns up with the. If Shaq dunked on you, is he not supposed to not do that? Or I mean, how does that work? Like, if you were to go in the NBA and you're going against Giannis, I don't expect for you to dunk on Giannis. That would be the most astonishing thing I ever seen. This is a game where we were Giannis and they were like you. No. The most important thing is having a win, sure. But at the end of the day, how you win makes a difference. And winning ugly can do things to mess with people. Because the minute things start going wrong, things start creeping people's head. Other teams get confidence and stuff like that. So just saying. That's all I'm saying. I just want to make sure that we remember this. I want them to keep that feeling. Don't get comfortable. Sauce was on Johnson's head. Listen. Kobe says Okor is the MVP. Okay. One Pride 40 says Hutch or McNeil. I'm not doing two. You pick one. There's only one MVP. We're not doing this two if or ands or buts. One person that you have. We got a win is a win. What you crying about every game not going to be a blowout? The win can be the win until it isn't. Because I never hear nobody, these same people will say a win is a win, cry when we lose. And to be honest with you, we were very fortunate Because here's the news flash to you. If you don't get the punt return, your offense mustered 7 points. 7 points. The only point total that was lower than that is when you went 0 against the New England Patriots. 7 points against the Jets, and their best weapon wasn't in there. Not crying about a damn thing. I'm pointing out facts. The same facts that our head coach pointed out in his speech after the game. Go and check it out. It's on Detroit Lions YouTube channel. Key word in there was but. There are some things in there. We didn't play our best games, what the head coach said. Got to go with Thor. Okay. Let me see. Romeo, Luke G, and the G is the GOAT. Hey, appreciate it. Alex Anzalone. Okay. He wasn't that impressive either, Luke. Wilson was just average. That's what worries me. You could have fooled me with them goddamn bums. They was letting just catch. they was like, he was just throwing it up there. And I'm like, he came down with that? Like, come on. Let me see. Who we got? All right. I'm going to tell y'all who the real MVP of this game is. I'm surprised nobody said this. I'm going to show y'all. And if you think I'm lying, all you got to do is just go back, rewatch the game. Rewatch the game, watch the film. I'm going to show you who the MVP of this game was. It blows my mind that nobody saw this. Okay? Nobody saw this. Let me get up in here. Let me get up in here for a minute. Let me get on down here. I want y'all to see who the MVP is. Let's get down to defense. Where is he at? Let me find that name. Let me find that name. Where he at? Right here. Let me get this goddamn thing. How big can you make this? Can I highlight this? This man right here. Y'all was hyping up Malcolm Rodriguez. This the real one. This the steal of the draft. Kudos to Brad Holmes for this pick right here. This one. Oh my God. Listen, I want y'all to take a second to just understand something. James Houston. I want y'all to look at the stats. I want y'all to see it for yourself. Look who got, all the total tackles, right? I want y'all to just see it. Look who got all the total tackles. Look at James Houston. He only got 3 total tackles, right? 2 solos, 1 assisted, 1 tackle for a loss, right? But James Houston is credited with 3 quarterback hits. James Houston did something that I believe was the most pivotal thing in the whole game. And he applied real pressure. Real pressure. Go and look at it. Most of those games, most of the time in the game when you saw a negative play, James Houston was on the quarterback's ankles. I'm talking about he was examining the Achilles. He was literally examining that man's Achilles. Every time I looked up, this man was a damn problem. I have never seen anything like this. Never. And I don't see the buzz for it. It's mind-blowing. Everybody and their mama was riding the M-Rod train. Where's the James Houston train at? I fully understand why he's the problem. This man, go and look at the game. Tell me how often did y'all see this dude, whatever side that the problem was on, the quarterback went the other damn way. Why is he not getting no praise? Where's the praise at? Where's the hype train for this? You want to talk about Brad Holmes doing a job? Talk about that. Look at the last drive. Every throw, every single throw that Wilson tried to make, that man caused him not to be comfortable. James Houston. James Houston. Y'all don't even understand this. This dude is so good. It's not even funny. The things he do is not even funny. The man has goddamn hands for days. His skill set is not normal. His counters is beautiful. And the best part about it, the quarterback spent his whole day running from him. Y'all make up these other narratives and, Aiden Hutchinson is wild. Bull! Somebody gonna tell me, he's only getting off because Aiden. Go and look at them plays. Most of them plays, Aiden Hutchinson wasn't even on the field with him. He's good. That's the best. He literally is the steal of that draft. That's just crazy to me. I fully said that man was going to be on special teams. He came in and said, hold my beer. Cool. Let me hold that goddamn beer for you. I'm going to keep it cold for you too. Don't worry about it. You got my attention. If you ever see the movie Django, first you had my curiosity. Now you got my attention. That man needs more praise. He literally was one of the biggest reasons why the defense was succeeding. He was constantly harassing the quarterback. Constantly. I was told that he can only go 3 downs. BS. Freaking S. Now, Miko, I know y'all been talking about him, but I'm talking about the grand scheme of people. See, people think I don't pay attention. They want to now skip over the talk. They was hyping Enrod up to high heaven. Right? Now we don't even talk about him no more. You ain't heard no Enrod hype and I don't know how long. We need to talk about James Houston. I said it before. I'll say it again. James Houston, at this point, is a better pass rusher than Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson can be better run defender. He can be a better overall player. Cool. But as a pass rusher, Aiden Hutchinson ain't got nothing on this man. James Houston is that dope. He was by far my MVP of the game. By far. That last drive, every time I looked up, and again, it was all Moses. But what I saw was a quarterback who had to run, and he was still hitting him. He didn't care. Still hit him. Clean hits, too. One of those passes that went big, that went popped up in the air, that went big, he was the reason for it. And guess what? The receiver caught it. The receiver caught it. But when I tell you that this man is absolutely nuts, he got 3 more games. And I'm telling y'all right now, I don't think Aiden Hutchinson going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Part of it is because the Lions helped make it look that way by not actually targeting Sauce Gardner. You made Sauce Gardner look like Darrelle Revis. I mean, what the hell? But secondly, there's a guy on the team who has played in 4 games, hasn't started a single game yet, and already got 5 sacks. That's wild. You say, no wonder he wasn't getting no praise. His first game was nuts. What are you talking about? His first game was literally 2 sacks. Like, and then it got crazier. It got crazy. Man, this man, Miko says, I agree that Houston made an impact, but Romeo needs that same praise. Second game back for his injury, and he made that same type of, I know. So listen, just follow me for a minute. The reason I did not give it to Romeo is because a few of those, they were running from James, and because he felt James coming, and then Romeo would do what he did and get in. And I'm like, no, this is nuts. I was happy to have Romeo back. It's just that James Houston is blowing my mind, people. I mean, this is absolutely nuts. And I'm telling you right now, do not get upset nor mad when Aiden Hutchinson does not win Defensive Rookie of the Year. And if he do, I'm going to call it like it is. It's BS. They literally just refused to throw to on a rookie cornerback side. That's unheard of. You would have thought we just went and got Deion Sanders 2.0. They just refused to throw on his side. That's power. That was the last time I saw that was Darrelle Revis. That's all I'm saying. But Bill Hawkins said, who's getting double teamed? Okay. The double team thing is this. The double teams is being overblown, people. All right? The double team thing is overblown. And I'll tell you why. It's overblown because a lot of times play design requires you to have combination blocks where one blocker stays on you and then goes to the next level. It doesn't mean that they are looking to just directly block that guy. What I saw was a dude who was given one-on-ones repeatedly, and he just whooped their ass. Like James Houston was a problem for real. Like he should take the Houston the fourth off and put on Problem. Just change your name like Ocho Cinco did. This is not. I'm telling you right now. James Houston has me like, I don't care how you get him on the field, but he needs to be a starter and on every day. I need him on the field at all times. At all times. I'm just being honest. I need him at all times. Shout out to my people at Man Hour, my man Bucket him over there. We can go over to Rocking Out. Obviously, this is brought to you by Man Hour, and they helped me with the state t-shirts, and so shout out to them. But yeah, William Luke. So why are they double teaming Hutchins instead of Houston? Because that's play design. The play design is for them to double them. I can show multiple examples of them just being part of the scheme of them to double certain players. Hell, in the Minnesota Vikings game, I can show you a picture where they're double teaming every D lineman. You want to tell me all those D linemen demand that counter attention? Nope. Dr. Pepperoni, you got to catch up, brother. He said, we play smart. Are we really diminishing the win? We didn't play smart. We played conservative. No, I don't want to hear that we play smart stuff because that's just not true. You can't say we played smart when you essentially went against an offense that really couldn't score. You gave up multiple big play at the big play at the big play. And the only reason it didn't happen further is because they left James Houston on the field. And that's just the reality. Again, all I said is, Elijah, I never said that James Houston is a great run defender. Go back, listen to the tape. What I said is, at this point, he's a much better pass rusher than Aiden Hutchinson, and he is a problem. He is consistently a really good pass rusher. That's facts. I don't care how we slice it. That's facts. That's smart, Luke. Stop it. Oh, okay. That's smart. All right, well, let's talk about it then. Okay. That's smart. Doctor, you said it, not me. Let's talk about it. So 18 to 35 for 317 yards. He got one interception, was sacked 4 times. Okay. He had 2 touchdowns. And that literally counted where they couldn't run the ball. So we ain't got to worry about that. In fact, you can look at the run right here. Right? They could not run the ball. So they were one-dimensional. And that man was still able to drop bomb on top of bomb on top of bomb. And your answer to that is we was playing smart. Okay. Half the catches that these players made were tossed up in the air. Just facts. They were tossed up in the air plays for first downs. Half of them were. And that's not me even exaggerating it. Right? Like, it was so bad. Look at your receivers. Averaging 10.9, 10.6. Brock Wright, 51 yards on 1 catch. He dropped 1, but whatever. Right? 4, right, you threw the ball to Swift. He got 4.6, whatever. DJ Chalk, 18, 15. Let's go look at theirs. 24.5. These are all just accidental throw-ups in the air. He just threw it. He didn't even know who he was. He just threw it up in there. Pray to God somebody come down with it. It was his guy. I don't want to hear about we don't need no safeties. Don't want to hear about it. That's not smart. They wasn't playing smart. They were playing scared, and it almost cost them the game. This team defense is not good enough to hold you to 7 points, and it happened. 7 points and 2 field goals. That's 13 total points. Take away the punt return. That's 13 points. So if they had accidentally scored in another touchdown at 24, we still lose. I expect more. You should too. That's all I'm saying. It wasn't smart. It was conservative. Ben Johnson was on some BS. He just was. He started out. He that one play saved them and everything. This brings me to my next point. Because they weren't even Hail Marys. They were accidental throw-ups. That's all I'm saying. New York has the third best defense. What are you complaining about? Here's what I'm complaining about. I'm complaining about this fan base who just happy with just the fact that we won. The same fan base who will turn around and burn the city down, burn down the organization when we lose. But they don't want to see it for what it is. They don't want to see it for it being fortunate. They had the third best defense that had no Quentin Williams. Who's their best defensive player out there? Oh, the guy in the middle, Quentin Williams? You shocking. He didn't play. You knocked out Denzel Mims. He didn't play. You bring in Zach Wilson, a guy who got benched for another guy, and Mike White, who then gets his ribs broke, and he took his confidence away, and they bring this other dude in who literally threw the ball up 5 times that should have been picked. And for all the people who want to say a win is a win, fair. You want to say a win is a win, cool. A loss is a loss, right? Keep the same energy. I don't want to hear, how can we not score more points when we lose? Your head coach even said in his victory speech, we didn't play our best games. There were some things there, but we'll get to that later. That's the whole point. Now, you know me, I'm an equal opportunist. You want to come in and tell me I'm full of crap? You hate me? You think I'm disgusting? Cool. But I don't see it. What I don't understand is the same people who say a win is a win are the same people who sat there and said fire Dan Campbell. But now when the team goes 7-7, you give praise to Brad Holmes. Really? Because I don't think you're paying attention to the games. They're still giving up big plays. And I dare you to show me a team giving up more big plays than we are on big downs. Please show me. Show me the team giving up 30 yards on a third and 20. Show me the team. Show me. I'm not asking you to do anything. They played in that same weather. Their offense was hot garbage. Everybody keep talking about they had a good defense. So what? Most of their best players weren't playing. And on top of that, their offense was hot garbage. And they still had the lead on you. You scored 7 points on offense. That's not acceptable. The same people who wanted to fire the head coach won't get his man credit now. They want to say it's Brad Holmes. I'm still waiting for somebody to name me who is the player you got to account for on defense. Because it might be James Houston, to be honest with you, at this damn point. But who's the player? The reason you don't fire Dan Campbell is because what John wasn't paying attention to is we were 1-6, but in those games we scored 39, 38 points, 35 points, 45 points. We were scoring. And the side that he was most responsible for was performing. The defense is still not good. They're getting better because they were so bad, but they're still not good. And that is on the general manager. But I'll give him credit for James Houston. I'll give him credit for that. I remember, where's all those people who came in there and was talking about what Pro Football Focus said? You know, the second best safety in all the NFL. Where's that shit at? Where is he at on half those plays? We can score in the dome. Okay. Well, let's just go and look at our next couple games. At least you know you get to play the Bears in the dome next. So great. And we know you get to play Green Bay outside. And I can't remember if the Panthers have a dome or not. My brain doesn't remember. But I know for sure that if we get in the playoffs, and I expect us to, and you got to play the 49ers, they're not in the dome. If you got to play the Eagles, they're not in the dome. Look at the playoff teams. How many of those playoff teams are in the dome? Let's talk about it. Oh, so the Panthers play outside too. Perfect. And we talking about domes. This team should have scored. They should have scored, and they should have scored often, especially when your quarterback is serving the ball up. These weren't even ducks. These were raindrops. These goddamn balls were going up and coming straight down. Shout out to my man RachelMarieSports. He said, no, the Lions played pretty bad, but they found a way to win. Everyone has these games. Winning a sloppy game is a sign of a gritty, good team. It wasn't great, but they did win. I understand that. I'm just really pointing out the fact that they did not play a really good game. And it started with Ben Johnson. Because I guarantee you this, the first thing people were going to do was blame the head coach. As soon as they would have lost that game, they would have said, once again, they would have blamed the head coach and they would have blamed Jared Goff. Jared Goff can't win on the road. Jared Goff. But because we won, all is forgiven. BS. Let's keep it 100 about this team. If you don't want me to say these things, all I need you to do is put in the chat one simple answer. Yes or no? Can the Lions win out the rest of the season playing like they did against the Jets? Yes or no? Because if you answer no, then what you arguing with me for? If you come away and you're arguing no, there's no reason for you to be arguing with me. I give you a chance to speak your piece, though. The link is in the chat. I'm excited we won. I'm happy we won. But that win didn't feel too good because it got people talking crazy. It got them feeling good. You know, I don't want that. I don't want you feeling good. The link is in the thing. Come in and talk to me. Now, we got people lying now. I love you, Doc, but come on. Yes, it's not always black and white. Bro, all I'm asking you is you tell me they can play like they did against the Jets and win out. Stop playing with me. That's not true. That's just not true. That's not true. D-Map Zoom, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, my brother Luke? It's been a minute. How you been?
It's good, man. It's good, man. I'm doing good. What you got for us?
Man, all I know is I'm sitting watching that game. The conservative play calling was killing me.
It was.
I'm sitting like, dude, you be having dude wide open in the middle, and it's like they don't take no shot, barely any shots in the middle at all. I'm like, what the hell? And then some of the runs was, I'm like, what the hell is this? Are you sure y'all trying? Clearly, this offense on the Jets cannot score. Like, bro, put it down, step it down on their throat and finish them. So what y'all doing?
You talking about a team that just, you know, like I keep hearing this too, that there's no such thing as an easy schedule. But look at everybody else and who they got to play. We got to play literally the Jets, the Panthers, the Bears, and then the Packers. These are all trash teams. We should win out. We just can't do it the way we did it.
I mean, it was sloppy as hell. Look, it was sloppy. I'm looking like, I hope y'all know y'all going to do better than that if you want to win the rest of these games.
And again, I'm not, look, Dr. Pepperoni said, who said they're going to play like that every game? I didn't say they got to play like that every game. I said, if they play like that with the remaining 3 games, can they win out? Yes or no? I didn't say every game. If they play like that in any one of those 3 games, do you think they win out? I don't think so.
I damn sure don't think so. You're going to lose one of those games you playing like that. That conservative crap is not going to win you games, especially in this league.
Like I said, man, I get it, man. I get it, man. You know, so what else you got for me? I got people in the back. I want to get them in. I want to make sure I give everybody a chance to talk and stuff so I can, you know, keep it going. What else you got?
Oh, no, man. That was it. It's like, I don't know what they need to do better. And that conservative play call.
All I'm asking is for them to be able to understand that what they did recently was not acceptable. I don't want them to get comfortable. That's all I'm saying. Appreciate you for coming through, man. Let me bring in my next one, man. Hold tight in the back for me, D-Matt. My man Miko's in the building. I see you in the back, Will. I see you in the back, Rumble. Miko.
What's good, Luke?
I'm pissing off a lot of people today. I'm not trying
Hey,
to.
man, you wouldn't be you if you wasn't, right?
This is true. I'm just really listen. I'm making an observation that no matter how much, most of these fans who are here hyping up right now are only hyping it up because the result was a win. But if that was a loss, they would have said fire Dan Campbell. Jared Goff sucks, and the first thing they would have talked about the whole time is he had a guy wide open in Jameson. Jameson burnt the whole defense, and he couldn't get the ball to him. But we won, so they don't want to talk about that.
Well, and my biggest thing is like everybody hyping up, Jets being third best defense. The problem is, like, if you go back and really think about that game, did it feel like you were playing the third best defense?
No,
no. Right? I mean, like let's be honest about the statistics. No sacks given up. Jared Goff had all day to throw.
Yes,
and you still ran for over 100 yards on him. This didn't feel like you were playing one of the best defenses. It just felt like execution and play calling wise, you were not being aggressive. You were not really challenging and pushing the ball. There were a lot of times when Jared Goff is sitting back there scanning the field and is just hesitant to pull the trigger. And by the time he gets to a third, fourth read, he's overthrowing guys, throwing it behind him, throwing it short. Like it was clearly an execution issue and not so much like, oh, the third overall defense shuts you down.
Yeah, and the thing that tripped me out is everybody liked to go out and throw out that whole third best defense and stuff, but like Quin Williams didn't play.
No.
He didn't play. I can assure you if he did, it'd probably be some differences. Why? Because I can tell you right now, the quarterback wouldn't have had time. The play calling was just too conservative, right? And it was a few times where the players just, I don't know what the hell was going on. Like, I literally was waiting to see a call that I could not agree with, and I was like, oh, God.
Well, I'm just like, I know off the top of my head, I can think of 5 plays where Jared Goff dropped back and he looked like he was looking deep and just wouldn't let it fly. And I don't know if, I don't know if there's double coverage back there or if it's just the simple fact that he underthrew Jameson early and every throw after that was within 10 yards or less.
Right. No, listen, I'm not, again, people, I am happy. How many times have I said this, Miko? I am happy we won. I'm never rooting for my team to tank. I am never rooting for my team not to win. I am happy we won. I cannot say this enough. I'm excited we won. But let's be honest about what happened on that field. I don't care
how
about
you win matters.
It does matter. And it's got enough confidence for a quarterback to say, well, the only team ahead of us is only 500. Oh, you talking now? Okay.
Well, and that's exactly the point, right? That shows you that how you win matters because it's all about momentum. It's all about being able to execute in all phases. I know you were talking about it a little earlier about how they play inside versus playing outside. Like, if Jared Goff has 3 passing touchdowns on the road, like, think about that.
So
that's a problem when most of your games at the end of the season are on the road, and if you play in the playoffs, you're playing on the road.
And the reality is this, and I'm not even being funny. We had a similar situation happen on Thanksgiving where we got up and we played way, way, way better than that. But they had a way, way better offense. And this offense was just hot garbage. So the fortunate part of having to go against a team who has an offense that's hot garbage is perfect. But when you can't be honest and open and critical about your team in a win, that's a problem for me. See, that's where we're wrong with fans. Right?
Well,
because the season, if that was the last game before the playoff, I'd be like, F it, that got us in the playoffs. Right? I would have did the fan stands. But we got to look at what teams going to be looking at and saying. They're going to go ahead.
I was going to say, this is the last thing I'm going to say, and I'll let you get to other people. But like this, I do think there's a silver lining in here in that because they played this bad and still won is a bit of a wake-up call. It's something that Dan Campbell can point to and say, you see how you almost let this team roll over you? Because you didn't bring it. And I mean, players and coaches, this is what happens when you don't bring it every game. It's teams that you should roll over, put up a fight.
This is Dan Campbell's response to the game.
We will never take away from a win, ever. We
will
never, because it's a win. It's hard to win in this league.
Yes, it is, but
nobody knows better than we do. All right? It's hard to win. The reality is we didn't play just a great game.
He said it. Now, nobody said he was wrong for saying it, but because Luke said it, it's a bad take. He wrong. Be happy for the win. We know that we came out fortunate and that we should have beat the brakes off that team. And that's just the reality of it. I'm not trying to change nobody's mind. DNC Entertainment, shout out to you. He says Sauce and DJ were still out there. Sauce who? I don't know if you paid attention. We didn't throw the ball at his side not once. They wanted no parts. They made Sauce look like he was Deion Sanders. I've
never seen a rookie corner get that treatment. You would
have thought that Darrell Reeves and Deion Sanders made a baby. And they just said, nope, not over there, because he had Troy Polamalu's mindset with Ed Reed's ability. He's a rookie. You're not
at least try him once or twice. Man,
they didn't try him at all. No. That was the first thing I know. I was like, yo, am I tripping? Didn't try him at all. So I just never seen anything about it. I knew I was going to piss some people off. I'm going to probably get a bunch of thumbs downs on this. But at the end of the day, I'm just saying.
Hey man, you speaking facts, bro. But I'm gonna get up out of here. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I'm gonna break in my man Will, man. Will, I'm pretty sure you're gonna disagree with me. What you got for the people, man?
Yeah, it's not necessarily like a disagreement. Well, first off, what's up, everybody? It's good to be back for the first time in like ages. The football season's finally over, so now I get to like pseudo relax. Get away from everything. But yeah, so there's two things I want to address in the chat. The Music Man 2010 said, we played to not lose and we didn't lose. I don't know what the issue is. That is a losing mentality. You play to win, you play for daggers.
Yep.
That's first and foremost, you do not play to not lose. That's how Western Michigan beat Toledo, because they did not want to give up the big play. And then within 2 minutes, we got 2 touchdowns to end the game on a last minute, like Hail Mary. Like, they played not to lose, so they lost. No, you play to win, put the game away.
That game should have been over, like, in my opinion, by halftime. He threw the ball up. He literally just tossed the ball up in the air like 3 times. I know we got one where 39. Jesus help me.
Jacobs,
yeah. The one he caught, which I was like, yo, you sucker, you gonna run out of bounds, bro. Come on. I ain't mad at it. It's a smart play, but come on. But the rest of that, after that, them were all catchable balls. And I'm like, how in the hell did they catch that?
Yeah, our defense is young. They just need to learn how to play those situations better in my position. That's just a lack of experience in those situations. They need to figure out, okay, this man's posting up right here. Okay, he's obviously not posting up for no reason. Let me look for the ball. Oh, God, it's a punt. Let me go field the punt. But I think one of the reasons you're getting a lot of the pushback here is something Bill Hawkins said. He said, no, Luke, it's a win we can never get. That's what's different. I agree with that.
I agree with that too.
Yeah, it's in the last 3 years. This was an ugly game. Ugly game. But I know in my heart of hearts in the last 3 years, we would not have won this game. But this year, we somehow found a way in all the mud, dirt. Everyone's banged up. Everyone's looking disgusting. And we somehow came away with a chicken dinner. We somehow came out the brighter side. And, it's not that we are praising these a bad performance. It's praising that we somehow won in spite of that. And that we are able to do that now.
I think once you said what you said, I now understand what my problem is. And I think I got it now.
Mm-hmm.
My problem is y'all looked at it as, oh, these are games that we would have otherwise lost. Yeah, we would have otherwise lost because the play calling was shit. We would have otherwise lost because the defense was giving up big plays. So I see what you're saying in that regard. What my position is simple. The only reason you feel excited about it is because we would have otherwise lost. But my position is you should have never even had to feel that this would have been we would have otherwise lost. This should have been a total annihilation.
Yeah, but every
and I
game
agree.
can't be
I
like
agree.
that.
I agree with two guys on the podcast. Shout out to the people. He said this game, the Lions would have lost for the decade, and they didn't play bad. I didn't say that the Jets didn't play bad. What I said is they're not a team good enough to hold your offense to 7 points. They're not a team that you should be so concerned with that you don't throw the ball to the rookie side of the field, right? Like you got a rookie too. You telling me your rookie can't get down with him? Why is he here? Right? Keep in mind, I said that in order for us to win this game, we got to get used to targeting the tight ends a lot this game. Right? This is what I said. The tight ends were pivotal in some big points, right? Including the drop. The only thing I'm pointing out to people is this. This right here is a good win because it keeps hopes alive. But the play calling was trash. And it was too conservative. The play calling put us in a position to lose the game versus win the game. If we had better play calling, we would have been up by more points, and it wouldn't have been close. Well, nobody been saying we would have lost it. It's just been, man, way to dominate a team. They play almost scared, in my opinion, with refusing to throw the ball to a damn rookie side. Like, it don't make sense to me.
Sorry about that.
Your dog agreed with me and wanted to get in on this, and I'm not mad at him neither.
Yeah,
okay.
Loud. Yeah, well, I don't mind them throwing away from Sauce Gardner. Now, this is because he's only allowed like 236 receiving yards when targeted. Like one game, he legit had -4 receiving yards.
You want Sauce?
Yeah, Sauce.
Yeah, no, listen,
like
I'm aware.
He's like a top 5 corner.
Listen, I'm aware of him.
We're going away from him.
I'm aware of him, but you don't just completely just take away half a field because he over there. That's BS. He ain't that damn good for you just to be like, yeah, that side of the field, we're going to have to find ways to get him cleared out. And then no. You didn't target him. You didn't have a receiver go for a pass with him. And I'm cool if you just felt like he was that good. I didn't. And I like Sauce Gardner because I rap Detroit all day, and he's straight from Detroit. Went to Detroit King and everything. In fact, I thought the Lions were going to take him or Kyle Hamilton. I just knew it was going to be one of them DBs. After watching yesterday's game and a few other games this season, we clearly need DBs. And to the people who are saying things like, oh, well, you're not going to score 30 points every game. I'm not asking for them to score 30 points every game. They could have gave us 21, and it still would have been a bigger win because you would have put more pressure on the quarterback that had to make plays. Thank God for James Houston. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, and one of the interesting things I find with the Jets is we actually had, I said it was the second most in chat. Turns out it's the third most. So we forced the third most receiving yards that they've got, that their defense has allowed all year. So we've had them. Let me know if I phrased that weirdly.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Sorry.
Say that one more time.
Okay, so the Jets defense, we forced the third most yards against them the whole season. So all the teams that have played against them, we have the third highest passing yards. Which, considering that we had Sauce was locking someone up the entire game, and we didn't even
lock nobody up. No,
because we didn't even test him.
We didn't even test him.
We still got 252 yards. Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, we didn't even test him. That's what threw me off. I was like, well, I'm like, you just not gonna like nothing? Nothing. Nothing? That's the only thing. Listen, I'm not knocking the win. Will, you heard me say this many times.
Yeah.
I'm happy we won. But I also got to be honest, because if we came on here and we lost that game, we would be dissecting why we lost. Well, let's dissect why we won. And let's be honest. When you look at the team that they went against, Baltimore, what is Baltimore total? They're not in the top 5. Cleveland, Cincinnati, not in the top 5. Pittsburgh, Miami, Green Bay, Denver, Buffalo, who they beat. They did good. Quentin Williams played that game. But New England, they don't have a high-power offense. The Bears, they don't have a high-power offense.
Now the Bears do, but
I'm just saying. When you look at when they played them, they don't have a high-power offense. And so you look at the Lions and the Bills are probably the two best offense they win against, and we got 7 points. Go look at their schedule. Every team they win against score more points than us in terms of offense.
Yeah, and that's one of the big things. Like, it's never going to be everyone's day.
No,
like Jags, it was everyone's day. Everyone had the fucking wind behind them. They all had fun against the Jags. But this week it's been, it was like coming down from that high in my mind. Like, ever since the Jags game, it goes down to 33 points, and then now only 7 points on defense, scored by our offense. But every day ain't going to be the day for the coordinator. He's not going to call a perfect game. But even when he didn't call a perfect game, he still managed over 350 yards. And what the big issue is penalties. Like,
the penalties are huge. I think we scored twice on the goal line on runs or something like that, and then they got called back for some stupid stuff. So, like, and ironically, the calls were right. Damn, that sounds weird saying. The calls were right. Like, they were fair calls. I'm like, damn it, that really happened. Damn it, that really was a hold. Damn it, that really was a pass interference. Like, it really did happen. And I get it, because they were panicked with these damn deep balls and these big bum plays that should have been picked off. Like, I thought about making a video just showing it, but it's just strange, And so I wanted to point that out. And then the other thing I want to point out too is this: when you look at the Lions these next couple of games, I don't like the fact that I felt like we did do it. Now, according to Craig, he says, I'm not sure I want golf challenging sauce. That's fine. But what you did by doing that is you took away half your field. And that made their defense even more better, because now they know you got to go to your left or they got to go to your right. That's why when he called that sneak on that last play, they figure you were still one-dimensional going that way. So good job setting that up. But for the most part, the play calling was pedestrian. That's all I'm saying.
Still crazy that pedestrian play calling got you 350 yards, though. I mean, that is like getting that even with, worse below average play calling.
I mean, listen. I'm not gonna argue with you on that, right? I'm not gonna argue with you on that, but I'm just saying this man should not have had 317 yards based on what I saw.
Our deep, we need to finish drives out like we have been the rest of the year. And we need to stop letting stupid crap happen. Like 18 for 35, but somehow got 317 yards. Like Kirby Joseph had a bad game. I know people hyped him up. Like, he's a rookie. We all got to remember that. He's still a rookie.
I get it, but right here.
Not to you, specifically, but I think as a community, we thought that one big game was him arriving. No,
it wasn't. It was a moment that everybody was happy about. I was excited about, but bruh.
And you know what? If he does it again in week 18, by all means, just be the Rodgers deflator, and we will always love you.
But just think about this though, right? Garrett Wilson, the biggest play he had was 33 yards. I remember that play, and I still don't know how he got that. Right? Like how? This Jeff Smith was probably the worst one of all. I'm like, oh, that's an interception. No, it's not. It's caught. Like, what the hell? The CJ Ozama, how Sway? Like, come on.
There was one thing, and I think it's becoming a more recurring theme with Okuda. It's the exact same. It's not the same as the. It's the same general issue as when he got nailed by the 49ers in the first game of last year, where he doesn't understand when to look for the ball. Garrett Wilson got that catch on him because he shouldn't have looked for the ball. He should have got connected. Once he gets a hand on, then you can look for the ball. Now, because now your hand's going to lead you to where they're going. They move into a blind spot. Your hand feels them do that. And that's one of the big things with Okuda right now.
Well, that's one of the big things that I pointed out in my "He's Not Worth a Top 10 Pick" video, where I said he just don't turn his head around. I don't get it. I will give him this though. He has been so much better at the line of scrimmage in terms of being aggressive. So I'm happy about that. But let me get some more people in here really quick, Will. If you want to hold tight in the back for a second, give me one moment. Let me get my man Rumble in here. He's been waiting patiently. I'm sorry, Rumble. Let me know you're ready to rock and roll. You here?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Listen, apparently, Rumble, I'm pissing off a lot of people because I'm just merely pointing out some stuff that I observed. And I'm just trying to – I don't want people to understand something. It's one thing to say – like, I put it this way. I think most of us agreed that we should have won that game. And we did. Great. And I would have been like, okay, the game was a hard-fought game if I thought that the Jets had played this stellar game plan. Or I didn't – and Miko said it best. I didn't feel like I was going to get the number 3 best defense. We was having our way with them. I think the first drive was a march. And another thing that I don't think people realize is a lot of the criticism they gave Dan Campbell, he did all the same stuff again. He still went for it on 4th. And I saw people complaining about that. Take the points. You on the road. They on the 1.
Yeah, I mean, our kicker, as we see in the past couple of weeks, our kicker is a little shoddy, to say the least. And I believe Dan is just, again, kudos to Dan, man. He's establishing a culture, and he's putting guys, he's making those guys win these games. Like, he is really like, okay, we got on the 1, let's go ahead and go for their throat immediately. So I was happy with him doing that. I didn't have any issues with that because as we know last week, the kicker all but tried to lose us that game. And good thing he went back to the kicker to kind of ice the game. But yeah, I think I agree with you and Will and everyone, all the panel who's chimed in. I believe we played flat. I believe we were poised to at least score 30 plus points on them, but there were some play calls that were kind of questionable, even for my liking. But shout out to the special teams for, really just licking the stamp and mailing it and really putting the first points on the board, if you may. And, we've been waiting for our special teams to kind of, really give us an edge. And they showed up against New York. And, this whole notion that New York's a top 3 defense, again, it's a lot of these teams this year have like these inflated records, and like the Giants, for instance, I don't believe what their record is, but
nope, me neither.
Albeit, I don't believe the Jets' record is as gaudy as they are. I just think that we're the league is in it's kind of in a you got a lot of young teams, so it's kind of like the turning of the tide, so to speak. So teams like Green Bay are no longer feared. Teams like Dallas even are no longer feared. Who saw that Dallas meltdown happening? So I believe there's certain teams like the Lions, certain teams like even the dare I say the Jags, who are kind of right there on the doorstep, knocking on it to, these are going to be teams that nobody in the league is going to want to play within the next year or two. Albeit as long as they keep that core, as long as you keep those coaches intact. But overall, I thought the game was like a 7 out of 10. I really believe we could have ran the score up had we, really just opened the playbook up. Just, let every player play. I would have loved to see, even TK go out there. I would have loved seeing the whole roster get a series or two. But yeah, we're man. It's so rewarding to see this team win these kind of games, even though I think they should have won by more. But man, I can't believe it, man. We won 6 in a row now.
Right. And again, it's exciting. You start off at 1-6. Remember, at the beginning of the year, I said I can see us winning as many as 12 games. I said, but my final prediction is going to be 10-7. I said, with the minimum floor being no more than 8 wins.
Right.
Because I saw that we had an easy schedule. I saw that we had opponents that I'm like, we should beat these people. But we lost a lot of those games early on because of defense. Now, shout out to Southwest Line who says, let's face it, playing not to lose usually results in losses. That's 1. 2.
Yes.
For all the people, shout out to my man Adam from World Sports over there. But I remember Adam was talking about like all the coaches that he was just like naming all these coaches. Dan Campbell beat them all. He beat them all.
Yeah.
And I try to explain to people that don't look at Dan Campbell and say, oh, he's not coaching it or he's doing this and this and this. Robert Saleh, he should be getting chastised by everybody for that clock management, right? He should be getting chastised for a lot of his decisions. And he beat them. He beat these people that people were putting against him. Bill Belichick, what happened with his team? Who told these people to lateral the ball? Like, I don't want to, like, I'm not saying that, like, it can't be any given Sunday. I'm not saying that it can't be that these things shouldn't or should happen. I'm just saying when you look at the game, not the end result, but I watched that game. I never felt that the Jets should have ever got the lead. And I can't say we dominated that game. And I can't say they had the best defense because I think our defense performed better.
Yeah, I agree. I think Zach Wilson is a little bit of a diva already because he was picked so high. I don't think he's the guy for that team, unfortunately, because he feels like he's already a made QB. He's already, and that's not somebody you can really. I don't know. That's not somebody he can really coach, and maybe that's why he was demoted the way he was, because he just felt like, But unfortunately for us, they lost Mike White, who I think was kind of trending up, and it just goes to show it could have been a completely different game with Mike White out there. That guy's been balling as of late, and I don't want to say we got lucky, but at the same time we kind of did get lucky, because they probably had to dumb the playbook down for Zach Wilson. And like you said, he still threw over for 300 yards. So what does that say about our secondary and just what we need to work on? Because, like, to your point, you said we still have Aaron Rodgers to kind of game plan around. And it's a much winnable game.
It's still a winnable game. Listen, I'm telling you right now. Listen to me, hear me good. I want you to hear me and hear me good. And James Houston, I trust. As long as that man is on the field, y'all don't understand what I saw. I'm that every snap. I'm like, how is he this guy? This is nuts. And I don't count pressures if it don't result in a negative play. So if they complete the pass, I don't count that as a pressure. It's not a negative play for me, right? That dude line says, "Listen, Luke, I get we could have taken the field. No. Let me even stop you right there, that dude, because I'm okay with them going for it on 4. In fact, I never understood why teams were always punting all the goddamn time. If you have a short field, you have opportunity, or you on the 1, why take the field goal? They're on the 1. Tell your defense to stop.
Yeah,
that's it. They can't run the ball. What did the Jets do good yesterday?
Zach Wilson throwing Hail Marys, lollipops.
Just think about it, right? When you go through and you think about it and answer that question, what exactly did the Jets do really good yesterday? That lets you know how that game should have went. That's all I'm saying. Let me bring in Gunner. I'm happy we won. I'm excited we won. I want to win. I want to go to the playoffs. I want to win a playoff game. I want to go to the Super Bowl. I want to do what the Giants did when they went 10-6 and went all the way and beat the New England Patriots. I want that. I want to win the Super Bowl. And I'm never going to chastise them for it. The same way Dan Campbell said, we're never not going to like appreciate the win. But and if I got to say the word but, that's cool. I didn't have to say the word but for Minnesota. I didn't have to say the word but for Jacksonville. Right? I didn't have to say but to those games. And I shouldn't be saying but to the Jets. That's all I'm saying. And that's another thing. I forgot about that damn play, Looney Tune. Thank you. That throw where Zach Wilson had to get into the field goal range was so man, what? And then listen, if it was one call that I was pissed off with the referees was, how are you still falling to the ground but calling the timeout? Now, FYI for the people who getting all excited, keep in mind, they kicker didn't make the 58-yard field goal outside. But if that was, say, I don't know, the Ravens, and that was Justin Tuck, y'all wouldn't be talking about this when we go to overtime. That game should have been put away in regulation a long time ago, and that's all I'm saying. But I'm excited we won. Let me bring in my man Gunner, then I bring in everybody, then we get up out of here. Gunner, what's going on, brother?
I was thinking that stupid completion reminded me exactly of that Ravens game. I was so pissed.
It was so, bro. Like, I thought it was Pitt.
It was.
Oh my god! I thought it was intercepted. I'm like, this is right here. It's an interception. This is going to end the game. And he caught it, and I went, "How in the hell did that just happen?"
Nah, you're right.
But we don't need no safeties. You don't take safeties, and you got Kirby, and according to Pro Football Focus, because everybody and their mama swear by Pro Football Focus. According to Pro Football Focus, he's the second best safety in the league.
Well, no, he's number one in fan voting too for the Pro Bowl. So I know you must be happy about that.
Listen, this is why I don't respect Pro Bowlers. Listen. You know why he's number one in Pro Bowl?
I imagine it's because he got 2 interceptions in Aaron Rodgers. And
that's not even it. You know what it is?
Because the flip thing.
No, it's because of people like me. You can vote 10 times on that. You know that, right?
So everyone just vote 4 times?
Yeah, you can vote 10 times based on email. So I used every email I could, including my wife's, and I voted on him a good 50 times. Every Lion, I pretty much voted my ass off. I guarantee you, between just my emails alone, he got about 100 votes.
Man, you got
that's how crazy it was. I was voting on Lion players like fierce. You hear me? That's why I don't really respect the Pro Bowl. All pros tell me more, right?
Yeah, Pro Bowl usually just popularity contest for the most part. Not always, but for the most part.
So I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Houston is tied. We only 3 players in history to have 5 sacks in 4 games in under 60 plays. Think about that production from a backup. This is the part about it that's funny. He's not a backup. Like when I say he's not a backup, I mean like he needs to start. Like y'all not hearing me. That man ain't had a start yet, and it is only 2 sacks away from your second overall pick. Like that's how crazy this is.
He might.
He gonna pass him. That's what he
might get it against the Panthers too.
He gonna pass him. I swear he gonna pass Aiden Hutchinson. But I really feel like the Lions may have Aiden Hutchinson gonna have to get 10 sacks to get defensive rookie of the year. But when they go back to watch that Jets versus Lions game and see that you didn't throw the ball to Southside, that won him defensive rookie of the year right there.
Oh, Sauce.
Yeah, that one. But good grief. This man, and it's not even the sacks, people. It's just the harassment of the quarterback. I feel like he'd be so close that like every time he snapped the ball, he's braiding the dude's hair. He's that goddamn close.
His pass rush moves are crazy.
Like it's so nuts. If it's all right with you, Gunn, let me bring the whole panel back. I want to get on a few things because I got to ask y'all all this question.
I get why he ain't getting as much snaps as like Hutch, just because Hutch is probably better against the run than he is. So I think they just see him as more of a third down pass rusher.
I think he's gonna need 10 sacks to win defensive rookie of the year. I don't know if he gets to 10 sacks. I'm serious, and I think part of it's because of the guy. I think Houston's going to take some stuff away from him. Houston is listen. We can talk the M-Rod talk. That's cool. James Houston is the steal of the damn draft. Hutch still has 2 interceptions, but you know why? Even though he got the 2 interceptions, those interceptions don't weigh as much because that's not always expected. And so it's like, okay, cool. The run defense, yes. The pass rush and sack stuff, yes. The interceptions is like, okay. Like, even though he did a really good job getting those 2 picks, it's like, okay. But you just had a guy that nobody went to throw to his side of the field. Like, that's not normal. Like, that's just not normal. What Sauce Gardner is doing is absolutely phenomenal. And the Lions made him look even better by refusing to throw a ball at him. I would have picked on him. I guarantee you if the Lions had Calvin Johnson, they would have threw the ball at him. But we got Jameson Williams, so I don't understand why we didn't throw the ball at him. Whatever.
Jared Goff got to get that deep ball figured out with him and J-Mo.
Buffed Up says, Luke, can you say 3 good things about Hutch? Damn good all-around player, very good against the run. Is getting much, much better in terms of his counter move. He had a nice little spin move, and he actually completed the spin this time and didn't stop, so I was happy to see that. The motor is really kicking up. He's starting to get his wind. Early on, I think he was getting gas, but he's starting to get his wind. very aggressive. I don't think I've seen too many times where he got a hand on the player and they didn't come down. So yeah, I can put out a bunch of good things about Aiden Hutchinson. I think what he's doing is absolutely phenomenal. He's a very good player right now, right? Like, but you know, I think that's from a Lions bias perspective in a way, because I can't tell you that teams are running away from Hutch. Apparently, teams are running away from Sauce Gardner. That's nuts to me. That's all I'm saying. Let me ask y'all this question, because this is the next one. I gotta make sense of this, and this is a very simple question, and it's for you to check. Who do you give the most credit to for this turnaround, for this season thus far? Who you give it to? You cannot give me multiple people. I need one person. Who do you give the most credit to? Starting off with you, Gunner.
It has to be Campbell. In my opinion, there is no other answer.
Listen, Will, who do you give the most credit to?
I'm a wimp out.
Don't name the dog.
I'm wimping out.
I
don't like this type of question.
Don't do it. Don't wimp out. Don't you do it.
I just don't like this type of question.
It's a fair question.
Yeah, because like, even if AG is getting all the talent there, you could always say it's Campbell, because it's Campbell's culture. It's what Campbell wants to put in place. But will we be as far as we are without Campbell doing, like, giving him not just the draft picks, but like Bugs has been crazy in the run game, and even in some passing situations. Kaminsky has been a great waiver wire grab, who's been playing significant snaps. So like, I'll edge towards Campbell, but like in my mind, it's a host of people.
Will, don't be that guy. don't, Will.
I get what you mean. Brad Holmes has brought a lot of good unexpected players
who
here.
can't do that though, right? Like if I'd be like, hey,
Bob Quinn couldn't do that.
Matt Mayhew. Let me just go down the list of all
I'm
previous
saying,
Lions GMs.
What I'm saying is like who couldn't just give like all the most credit go to all these people, right? Like come on, like that's like I'm not talking about like who couldn't do that in terms of that, but I'm talking about like in terms of like giving the credit. It's one person that gets the most. Like if there was a pie and you got to break it up, there's one person. Who are you giving that to, Will?
I don't know. It's the coach in me, man. Everyone's part of this build, bro. Everyone's part of this.
What say you, Rumble?
I kind of agree with Chat. I think Joseph said it. Sheila. I think it goes back to when she, kind of made that letter to the fans. And she brought in a group of guys who were unproven, who were first-time, first-time former players. Their ties in NFL were crazy. And she brought this eclectic group of guys in who, our head coach was known as a meathead from some of the, pundits, unproven. And, lo and behold, here we are now, man, riding a six-game win streak. One of the teams that nobody in the NFL really wants to play right now. We got healthy at the right time. Players are starting to believe in it. We're one of the youngest teams, and it just feels like the whole team is rallying behind one another. So I gotta give the credit to Sheila, because she's done more than her mom has in that short period of time of her being.
I respect that. I respect that.
She's cooking right now, so I got to give her credit.
No, I respect that. I personally gave it to Dan Campbell because everybody named Mama wanted him fired. Also, people just, again, the Lions, I just want people to understand something, all right? Because there's things that I've been trying to get people to stop subscribing to. One of them being it takes 3 years. Wake up. This team had 9 home games. The schedule was very easy, and it got better down the stretch. And that's good for us. The team is getting healthier. That's good for us, right? Like, everything is there. But the defense still sucks. And I don't care what nobody say. Convince me it don't. Just because they went from worse to okay does not mean that they're good. They just went from worse to okay. And when I'm watching people throw the ball up in the air without even having a care in the world, they just know that you ain't coming down with it. Yeah, we got a problem. Because I guarantee you, they not throwing the ball up in the air like that if you back there with Jamal Adams, or if you back there with Glover Quin, or if you back there with Louis Delmas. Whoever you want to come up with, they're not throwing. Well, Tavon, obviously Tavon, they throwing the ball to him all that damn day. But that's another point. They're not doing that. And to me, they don't. This again, Tracy Walker's not out there. But I will say this, and I think Will, you talked about this in the Discord. I saw where they was like moving. They've been consistently moving Okuda into that safety spot. Just leave him there. Just please leave him there. I can't. Even though some of those deep bombs were deep, at least he was in the vicinity to make the tackle and wasn't chasing. Kirby was chasing the whole time. That tight end. How is the tight end? How is Ozuma? I don't even want to talk about it. Ozama, whatever it's there. I just don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. It's just, I just feel like when I look at these games, I'm going to evaluate them for what they are, and I'm going to evaluate them for what they could be. I think that the Lions have a lot of work to do. All this talk about that, you don't got to draft a quarterback early, and all, that's BS. If it's one there that you believe in, take them. Because I can tell you this right now. Somebody needs to be sitting behind Jared Goff putting pressure on them pipes. Don't you get comfortable. I've seen him get comfortable when there's nobody behind him. Put somebody behind him to get comfortable, so he can get uncomfortable. And then on top of that, please do something about this goddamn secondary and linebacker core. Because for all the people who don't want to talk about it, Jared Davis, yeah, he's another guy who hasn't been getting a lot of love, and they're using him the way I thought they would, which is to send him on blitzes and stuff. But when you got Zach Wilson still dropping 300 on you, which, let me be clear, people, that is not an easy task. It's even easier when you can just throw it up and somebody else come down with it other than the people who should be. I got a problem with that. So I got one more question, and I want to kind of get out of here. I got to help my kid with some homework, late homework. It is what it is. What's going on, my man TA, my man Raw Detroit in the building? What's going on? This is another question I had to ask because I want somebody to just make this make sense to me. Do anybody know how many snaps John Pascal played?
I think it was very low. I think it was like less than 20.
You usually know this kind of stuff. Do you know how many snaps he took?
One moment, looking it up.
Appreciate it. Why are you looking it up? See, I know 14. It. There it is. Thank you. All right, 14 snaps. How in the hell did he get a B grade for his performance? What the fuck did I miss? What did I miss? Well, when I put these polls up here for y'all to give a grade, I really want y'all to be honest, please. Y'all thought he had a B performance?
I mean, I can't really tell you because I wasn't paying attention to him.
No, I was paying attention. I was definitely paying attention.
Because he bull rushes the crap.
He good
out
at
of
it
demons.
too. He good at it.
And that's what I think one of the biggest criticisms I had of our line is that we had 4 individual rushers. As the season has gone on, this has been one solid. This is not 4 individual rushers anymore. This is one unit playing for one pride, playing their hearts out, which is why I think you see a lot of James Houston. He's getting a lot of these pressures coming around the edge, doing his job, which is a sack because, against the Jags, you had Pascal bum rushing a guard back into the guy's lap, into Trevor Lawrence's lap. Hutch had the running back and the guard over on him. He got triple teamed that play, and Kaminsky was able to just bull rush.
Wait a minute.
So he had that whole. So this is all with the Jets. I'm just talking more like team defense. So
no, but what game were you talking about? You said James Houston had the sack. What game were you talking about?
So this is against the Jags, where he came.
The first sack or the second?
I believe it was the second one where he had a beautiful coming around the edge. Beautiful. And at the same time, Trevor Lawrence couldn't step up because Pascal was condensing the pocket. He had a guard in Lawrence's lap in under 2 seconds. Hutch got triple teamed. Legitimately, a guard came towards him because he had a great counter, and the RB came towards him, and Kaminsky was able to push the pocket too. Now we're playing team defense, and I love it. I love it. It's not 4 individuals. It's now we're all a team doing this thing. I love it.
I just look at it and I just said to myself, this team, in my opinion, should have 12 wins. And I expect for them to win out and make the playoffs. And I made this statement right now. Nobody wants to play this team in the playoffs because I think they riding so high on confidence that they don't believe that they're out of these games. And that's good. Like, I want to see that. I want them to believe that and everything. They don't believe that they're out of these games. My man Ramon with the best comment of the day. He said Houston got that. He got that skip to my Lou rush. And it be working though. He has this rush where he do skip and he do this thing with his third step, but he got so many moves, bro. It's so and I know he played at Florida before he went to Jackson State. I get it, but golly, that man Arsenal is scary. He can bull rush you. He can dip underneath you. He can spin. He chops hands. It's scary. I don't want to hear about Enrod. Just tell me about James Houston. Just tell me about 59. I know Enrod on the team, but we don't even talk about him no more. When's the last time y'all heard anything about Enrod? Seriously. You don't even hear about Enrod no more. All his number ones. Hell, I don't even see William talking about him no more. What's going on? Like, dude, Houston? Oh my God, Houston, we have a problem. That dude is a problem for real.
Just expected from Malcolm Rodriguez at this point. He's really good in the run. Like,
they've been taking him out,
and like I think his pass rushing or his passing snaps have been better. But like,
they've been taking him out on rundowns though, putting in Jared Davis and the other guy. I can't think of his damn name. 55. They've been swapping them out, putting in run defenders. And on passing down there, they started putting Rodriguez in, but I do think he might be hurt because one play he had where I'm like, damn, I feel like he would have ran up and made that tackle. He was kind of like, I don't know, he was kind of like making executive decisions, it seemed like to me. But that goddamn Houston, I don't know how you game plan for that.
Open pray.
Well, the issue is on the other side. Is that it's the beauty of what Hutch has been doing. Like, I was typing about it in chat. So what's happening a lot of the time, if you watch it this upcoming week, they're putting the running back always to Hutchinson's side, or they're putting a condensed wide receiver. So the wide receiver will line up close to Hutchinson, so he can't rush outside. He has to take a closer loop because if you let Hutch get wide, it's over. It's absolutely over. That's where his bread and butter was all throughout his college days.
You know what?
And he puts the running back to that side in order to get a double team. So because of that, now Houston gets to come around that edge. Oh, you want to put the running back to the other side? Well, good luck. Have Hutch on a 1-1. I mean, it's what I love about having a dominant D end that scares teams into having to put their formations to game plan for it.
That ain't Hutch. I'm not gonna.
They're putting the running back to that side. They're condensing a wide receiver.
I think that's just play design. Like that's not Hutch. I'm watching a lot of them games. I'm watching a lot of them games because they're still doing that stuff even when Hutch is out taking a breather. They're still calling that same style, the same plays and stuff. What I'm looking more so at is I said instead of looking at the necessary of the why, just look at the one-on-one individual eye test. Houston pops out, and I promise you. In fact, I feel like this game coming up, man, you're gonna hear his name a lot. And I just listen. If there's one person I can give respect to for a fucking stellar pick, it's that guy. Shout out to my man Mondo Ray Moore. What's going on, brother? Salute to you, sir. My man, two guys in the podcast as Lou talking about 91.6 facts. Not a bad show. Could have been better show, but it's a win. I love that. People, I do got to do a few things that I told my son I was going to play something with him today, even though it's technically a school night. But since I think he's going to be out of school starting tomorrow, I'm going to go ahead and play this game with him. Apparently, my son has taken a liking to Street Fighters, and it's irritating my life. I've never seen somebody be this damn good with Vega. How in the hell am I having a hard time beating this guy? It's beyond me. But my kid got too much time on his hand. I need to figure out how to get better at it. With fighting Vega. Vega, somebody always thought was a weak character on Street Fighters. Apparently, he's Jesus to my son. So like, I don't get it. But yeah, it's all fun. I want to make sure we have fun about that. I do want to get into the final thoughts. I do appreciate everybody for coming in and all the well wishes and prayers and thoughts for that you sent my way on the loss of my grandfather. And so I do appreciate that. It has been a year, and I did have Ryu. I still got my ass bust. I don't get it. I'm throwing I do gets all that. It's just not happening. I will say this though, because the Lions coming against the Panthers, I expect them to just not only beat the Panthers but stump the life out of them. I looked at the Panthers and I went like, what? Like, why not? What do they do? Like, come on. Like, what do they do? Like, that's all I'm saying. It is annoying, man. It's like, what the hell? Like, I don't get it. Give me your final thoughts, Gunner.
Man, we better not let Sam Darnold throw them pop flies up and let him come down.
Like I'm telling you, I feel like this is the game. If there was ever a game where we should have like 5 sacks, this should be it. Like, if there was ever a game that we should have 5 sacks where like Aiden Hutchinson got like 2.5 and somebody got 1, this should be it. Like, I feel like this is the game. But yeah, I'm with you on that. Will, what are your final thoughts for the people?
Guys, it's the holiday season. Enjoy yourselves. Remember, life is too important to take seriously. You ain't lying. Don't over fixate on stuff. If it's fun to get into arguments, but just don't let it be the whole thing. Don't let it be every ounce of your thoughts. Have fun, be light, enjoy yourselves this holiday.
Raw Detroit says Giants cut Tay Crowder. Should we pick him up? No.
Nope.
No. Don't pick up nobody else. Listen, where you gonna put him? Don't pick up nobody else. Your receiving core is fully back healthy, right? For this is another thing I gotta get this off my chest. For all the people who hyping, oh, we didn't need T.J. Hockenson, you're fooling yourself. Okay, we literally, since getting rid of T.J. Hockenson, have reduced the amount of passes that go to the damn tight end. I mean, they're getting probably averaging about 1 or 2 passes a game at this point.
Wait. Tay Crowder's a linebacker.
No, I know who he is.
Oh,
but I was bringing the T.J. Hockenson, and again with Crowder, I don't at this point I don't want to bring nobody in because I believe we have the talent that we're going to just play with. Let it just play. They know the playbook. We don't have time to try to get you up to speed while we trying to make a run. I don't have time for that. We don't have like a super major injury that's like, oh, this person's not playing. So no, I'm good. I don't want to bring them in. So I did want to answer that question, but yeah, I just like I said, it's look, Hutch 2, Houston 1. Yeah, we should have 5 sacks, bro. I'm sorry, I don't know how it's gonna happen. We should have 5 sacks. This man should be harassed, or like we should be hitting him so much that he should think like we was his thumb. Like that's how I feel. Like that's just the reality. I'm sorry. All right, Rumble, give the people your final thoughts.
Man, shout out to the fans, man. We made it. We've got 6 wins under our belt.
7-7,
500. This is the minimum I asked for from last year. Like we got to double our win total, and Campbell has done that. So shout out to him. Shout out to the fans. Shout out to these awesome content creators, Luke G, Will, all you guys, man. And shout out to most importantly, the families of all of you guys who allow you time to, kind of take a break from them and come talk to us. Man, Christmas is less than a week away. And our boys are giving us the best gift they could, man. Some meaningful football in December. So shout out to them. Shout out to the fans. Shout out to chat. Man, you guys, let's enjoy the rest of the season. Let's enjoy the rest of the year. And any bitterness towards anyone or any drama, man, you got to bury it, man. And like Will said, man, you can't let it eat at you because life is a journey, man. It's so precious. So enjoy the ones you're with. and enjoy the people who kind of, you know, dig what you're doing. So shout out to Luke, man. I'm praying for you. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for anybody's loss from this year. But yeah, let's end it on a high note this weekend, man. Let's
100%.
really show these Panthers who the real cats are. So
yeah, we don't beat one up already. we did them Jags dirty.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Listen,
Absolutely.
shout out to everybody who tapped in with me and talked on the show. Everybody who came in here, even the ones who was upset with my views and my takes and stuff like that. Again, if you just take the emotional side of it out of it, you just look at it from a football standpoint. I think it would be hard pressed for you to say, you know what, a win is a win, because you should not be barely beating teams that are not that good. That's just my opinion. They're not that good. Like I just don't get it. But keep in mind, people, I always end every show on a positive note, and it's important for me to do that, so I'm going to do it this time. My message is very simple. It's a very simple message that I think needs to happen. If you think the cost of failure is too high, wait till you get the bill for regret. You see, I had to have a moment about this because I realized that too often I found myself in positions wondering if I had regret. Did I not do enough? Did I not tell them I love you before they went out the door? Did I not hug them? Did I not talk to them enough? Was there something missing that I did not understand? I found myself in a position trying to make sense of a lot of things. And when I did that, I told myself, hey, you know what? It could be worse. It could be so much worse. And at the end of the day, it's not. Don't live in regret. Make every moment count. Make every second count. Take those moments and don't regret them. Appreciate them. There's somebody right now you ain't talked to in a long time. Somebody that you was mad or beefing with. A simple text message or a letter or something that says, hey, I just want to see how you was doing. Let you know I'm doing okay. I miss you. It doesn't take much. And when you do that, you start to learn that, guess what? When the price of failure comes in, it don't feel so bad because there's nothing worse than just regret. Take that. Enjoy your holidays. I plan to be back tomorrow because they should not be able to hold me over. They should not be able to hold me over tomorrow. We'll see what happens. And as you can see, he's pointing to the hat, but the Go Lions. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, don't be no chump. Please do your research. We are out.